for a few minutes about how to grow friendships inside a life group. Now, I first just want to take some of the pressure off and say you're not going to be close friends with everyone in your life group. There's going to be different seasons where I've got different people coming to my life group and I'm closer friends than others. But one of the things that I really strive to do is I want to put in some things in my schedule that allow me to grow as friends with anyone who wants to be a friend with me who's inside my life group. What does that mean? Well, that means that, for example, I try to have everyone in my life group over to my house for dinner once every couple months. Some come over more than that, some come over less than that, but just thinking outside of life group time, having them over a different time for a dinner together. There's something about eating together, sharing stories with one another that really does bond you as friends. Another thing I like to do is I like to try and find opportunities for us to hang out together with the life group friends. So sometimes it's playing basketball with some of the guys in my group. Sometimes it's going disc golf with guys in my group. Sometimes it's going as couples to do things in the evening. So just looking for those other times to have those times together. Another way to really grow as friends in a group is to look for opportunities to serve one another. And this is hugely important as a life group leader because you want to make sure that the people in your group, your friends, your group, feel cared about and loved by you. Well, how do they feel cared about? Well, that's when you show up when there's a need. If someone's moving in the group, if someone's sick and maybe you could offer to bring over a meal, if someone's had a baby and offer to get a meal train going. Sometimes it's just, hey, I heard someone's having some computer problems and I come over and help them with that. Having car problems, help them. So just be attentive to things going on and trying to offer to help. And here's kind of a visual to as you get an idea of how this might look. So let's say I go to group and I am talking with the guy before group and he's sharing how he's having some difficult things to figure out with his kids. And I'm like, man, I just want you to know I care about you. I'm going to pray for you. Well, when I care about him authentically and I pray for him, it's like taking some water and starting to fill up a cup a little bit with that, hey man, he feels a little loved. And then a couple days later, when I text him, hey, I'm praying for you today for you to get victory in that area, that's like a little more water going in the cup, right? Well, then the next week, if there's an opportunity for me to serve him in some way of, hey man, everyone's sick at your home, you're going to miss life group, let me drop dinner off to you guys. Well, that's putting some more stuff in the cup, right? And you're filling up this tank, this reservoir of loving my friend. And that's what Jesus says when he says to love one another as Christ has loved us. Love one another. That's what it looks like. But here's where that's even more important. As you navigate friendships, sometimes you have to say hard things to a friend. Sometimes you have to exhort somebody onto love and good deeds, and they have to say something that they may not want to hear. So when you say something to a friend in your group and you have a full cup, then you have a reservoir of love you've built into the friendship that can handle that conversation. You can talk about maybe some parenting struggles that are going on in the group. You can talk about some relational issues that are going on. You can talk about financial issues that are going on. You can have a tough conversation. But if the cup is empty, if you've not had the opportunity to really talk to somebody and not really hang out with them during the week, not have them over for dinner, not spend that time where they really feel love, if that cup is empty, and you try to have the tough conversation, usually they just bounce out and they disappear. And so that's why it's hugely important just both to have good friends and to be authentic and to care for one another. But it's also important for disciple making and shepherding your group, as you want to make sure to take those opportunities to build up those friendships so they can handle the tough conversations that will come as you guys do life together and as iron sharpens iron together.